back to another episode of the Geeks for Geek podcast.
This is your host, Charlie Radio Williams.
And I'm Mayliz.
And this is Sean Luc.
Welcome back to another episode of the Geeks for Geek podcast.
Ooh, yeah.
And I swear to God.
And I swear
Please no.
by the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there.
Oh, no.
You're not doing the high note?
Nah.
You're not doing the I'll be there.
My stomach is bubbling. It's been bubbling for a while now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Too much? I'm too...
So you're going to hold on to it for a whole half hour now?
Yeah.
Gross.
I'm letting it build.
Ew, why?
You could call it...
You know what? Don't even answer that.
You can call it build.com.
What?
This is your friend.
I know that, but still.
You're
First,
responsible.
let's be honest here. You guys are the weird ones in the bunch. I'm as normal as they come.
Boop. Oh, hell no. Yo, we about to have a fight up in here today.
First of all, May, not but 2 seconds ago,
First of all,
she punched me.
Okay, first of all, hey guys, what's up to it? What's probably going to be an explosive episode of the Geeks for Geek podcast. We are your hosts. This is Sean Luc.
I'm Mayliz.
And I'm Charlie, about to die, Williams.
Now, continue with the beatdown.
May.
Don't make me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shall keep my hands to myself. I intruded on thy personal space, and for that I shall die 1,000 lashes.
That is not, first of all,
That's a bad accent, I know. But please, my lady.
and it's death by 1,000 cuts.
Like, let me have this. Please, my lady, please spare me. For thy did not mean to boop you with the boop. I am sorry. Forgive me, for thy is unworthy to be boop by you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, look at me. He booped you, and I knew that was like death. That was the death.
Yeah, because we can't be out here in
speaking of
these
boobs,
streets.
Baby girly.
And our producer is back.
Our producer's back.
The baby girly
And-
girl.
Yep, it's our producer.
Hey, baby. You want to do me a favor?
Producer coming out of nowhere.
You want to do me a favor?
How about this? How about we get this episode started? Because
This episode already started with you two
clearly-
fighting. So
look, I'm not fighting. The producer's here. Apparently, they came to check me for the boopity boop. And
right, because she's the only one that gets the boops.
And
Go ahead.
I'm just saying,
Boop her.
look, write me up.
Boop
Let's get this episode started.
Her.
Let's move forward.
Boop the cat.
Let's do what we
Hey, you
do.
boop.
Oh, so we just booping people? Come on, man. Keep your hands to yourself. You can't be out here booping people.
Listen, you leave our producer alone, all right? You can boop too. Since you want to go ahead and boop noses, boop the cat's nose.
Nah, because right
go
now,
ahead.
Right now, I'm afraid because I feel like I'm being cut with daggers. And Geektopians, May, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
She gonna kill you.
I mean, that's later.
Oh,
We have to get through this first.
Can we?
Okay.
Can we not?
But Geektopians, in the words of Mr. Cody Rhodes, what do you want to talk about?
Whoa.
Well, so, guys,
Yeah.
Yes.
since we live in New York City,
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
what the fuck? What happened?
I don't know.
What?
I feel like every time somebody comes up, says New York City, at this point, it's like talking about an ex.
Dead ass.
What?
Look, I love New York. I'm a Brooklynite, born, raised, and proud. But right now, New York City is.
Well, okay. Let say what you were gonna say
All
before
right.
he rudely.
Come on,
You do realize our producer's right there, and all we have to do is just throw her on you.
And you'll just start sneezing for the rest of the night.
Clarendon. Anyway, where are we going with this?
Anyway, so as we were saying, since we live in New York City, and I talked about Cody Rhodes, and if you know who Cody Rhodes is, then you obviously watch WWE, you watch wrestling. And this coming Monday is going to be the final Raw before WrestleMania. And it will be here in Brooklyn, the Barclays Center. And
Probably when this airs, it already happened.
yeah, it'll probably already air already. But yeah, WrestleMania is coming up. And we wanted to see if we could try to go to WrestleMania. Didn't work. We thought, oh, well, they're coming to Brooklyn. We can try to watch the show. Yeah, The Rock's gonna be there, so those ticket prices are very, very, very high. But yeah, it's 2 nights of WrestleMania. Are you excited for any of that?
Sean? I'm on time out here, so I want to answer, but I feel like I need the permission of our fair lady to answer that question. All right, so Geektopians, here's how I feel about WrestleMania. It's going to be amazing. This year is going to be jam-packed, and this isn't a free promo. I just think it's going to be amazing this year. I hope Cody Rhodes finishes his story.
I went limp. I'm sorry.
It's not the first.
Oh my god.
Boop. I hope Cody finishes his story. I definitely hope that Jade Cargill gets her chance to shine along the sides of Bianca Belair and Naomi. I hope to see what I think is going to be one of the best matches ever. Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso. In that match, I really wish that the E managed to bring Rikishi in.
I wish.
As a special guest referee.
So let's talk about this, right? What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about it, okay? Depending on when this airs, either WrestleMania either is about to begin or it already has happened, right? We're talking about it in a perspective of, it's about to happen. Predictions. I would love to see the Rhodes family come in and interfere, because I already know what's going to happen. The Rock is going to cheat his way out of it, right? And then they're going to do the bloodline rules on Sunday, having Cody Rhodes odds stacked against him and all that stuff, right? And I would love nothing more than to have the Rhodes family, including another member that's not on the roster, right, to come in and interfere, even if it's just for that one night. Just to have the entire Rhodes family, right, celebrate and him finishing that part of his story. Now, do I feel like finishing the story is now become an overused trope?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm tired of it.
Right? And for you Geektopians out there, yes, this is going to be a wrestling-centric episode, right? Because we, as you know, all three of us here, as we've said in previous episodes, are big wrestling fans, right? So we know that WrestleMania is the mecca of when it comes to WWE wrestling. Just like, there's always other companies and like AEW and whatnot that have their own meccas like All In and whatnot. So for WrestleMania, I feel like they have overly stacked it. So from what I understand, the card is now, based on when we're recording this, the 6-woman tag, which is Damage Control versus Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. Right? AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Yeah! Right? Which, I think that's going to steal the show.
No.
Oh.
Really?
No.
I think that's going to steal the show.
Okay, before you go on further, why?
My prediction is... I think during night 1, Seth Rollins...
No. Just for LA Knight and AJ Styles.
So, the question was that's going to steal the show. I don't think that's the match that's going to steal the show. I think it's going to be a great match, right? Because of the build-up. I think the match to look out for, and this is my prediction, is Seth versus Drew McIntyre, where I feel like either A, Seth is going to win and Damian Priest is going to pull a Seth and cash in on him because Drew McIntyre is going to beat him bloody.
Okay.
Or Drew McIntyre is going to get screwed and Drew's going to win and Damian Priest is going to come out and cash in on Drew and take. I think it's going to go either way. And I think that's the match we need to keep out.
So let's define what stealing the show means. Right? Stealing the show, and from my perspective, and if you Geektopians say something different, let me know. Right? To me, stealing the show is that a match that normally you feel like would not perform as well actually overperforms and succeeds better than most of the main event that's going to be there. Seth versus Drew is a main event match. It's expected to be a spectacle, and I take your prediction and I raise it one more. Drew is going to get screwed if he wins, but it's going to be screwed by CM Punk.
Oh.
And then that's how Damian gets the belt.
I can see that. I think if we were betting, I would just be betting with you on that one.
So let me run down the card, right? It's going to be also...
Wait, what's night one? If
they haven't determined which one's night one and night two yet. They haven't determined that. So it's definitely going to be Bayley versus Io Sky, which to me should be a main event since, I don't know, Bayley won the freaking Royal Rumble.
And they haven't put her on a lot of the posters, her or Io.
Which is a big gripe.
And I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, you have... Who was it? Who was on there? It was Bianca Belair was on there.
And she wasn't even scheduled to be on the show at the time.
Right. At the time, she wasn't scheduled to be on the show. And we're like, but where's Io and Bayley? Like, that they're in WrestleMania. Bayley won the Royal Rumble, and she was just not on any of the promotional posters.
Yeah. And that's a whole other thing. Like, because if you really look at it, Rhea Ripley and... Becky Lynch is getting more of the airtime, more of the thing than the actual Royal Rumble winner, and that's kind of very disappointing.
I first thought, it would be like a storyline where Bayley can use that to her advantage, but now I don't think so anymore. I think it's just, I don't know what's happening. I don't know why they're not actually promoting Bayley as the Royal Rumble winner. Like, I mean,
they announce it multiple times.
That's what I'm saying. Well, so wait, when she comes out, do they actually announce it?
Yes.
I must
they do, but here's the other part to that, right? She hasn't come out technically in 2 nights.
Well, are any of them injured? No.
Right?
Or pre-injured or
no.
So I think it's like what Sean said, that with this year's WrestleMania, it is super stacked. Where you have 2 belts for the women's championship, you have both belts on the line. For the men's championship, you have both belts on the line. I think for the men's tag team, like the tag team belts are on the line for the men. For the women, the tag team belts are on the line. So I think
that's the thing. The women's tag team belts are not on the line because damage control.
We're just doing the triple.
It's just literally 3 versus 3.
I think that's to put Jade Cargill over.
Yeah. It's to put Jake.
So to your point, May, like that's kind of.
That's what I'm saying. Like having.
Not to mention, you have. Sorry, apologies. You have Logan Paul in a triple threat match with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
Nobody cares about that match.
You want to bet?
People care. I mean, well, I don't know how people feel about Logan Paul. I'm not a big fan of his. I will say I'll give him credit. He is doing a good job physically within wrestling. Him as a person, I don't like him as a person. But some people may care because it's Kevin Owens and Randy Orton beating the shit out of him. So, I mean, that could be one reason why people like really want to see that match.
Oh, I think he's gonna win. He's gonna win, and I'll make this very clear. When it comes to Logan Paul, I think his in-ring is amazing. The first time that I saw him wrestle, even I had to shut up and be like, you know what? He is talented. He has what it takes to be in that ring. Do I feel like he needed to have a title on him right away? I feel like it's kind of like when Ronda Rousey first came in You know, she was a star outside. She got a title shot. That's just how I feel. I think, granted, outside, I'm not a big fan of Logan Paul, but I think that works for him in this light, that he is pulling off the hill. It kind of reminds me of when Kurt Angle first came into the WWE, where right off the bat, you know, you have this man, Olympic champion, should be praised, and automatically he came in as a heel.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Logan is right there too, where he can be one of the greatest heels, right up there with Dominic Mysterio. And we're shooting commentary.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. Yo, this is a stacked card. You got Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio.
Can you say that again?
Santos Escobar.
Oh God, you're making me hot.
Oh my
Anyway,
God! And then
continue.
the sleeper match is going to be Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
All right, question for you: are you guys ready for Gunther to drop?
No. Actually, yes, I am, for only one reason and one reason only. His run to the main event picture.
Okay.
Eventually, yes. I don't know who he would lose it to. I don't know.
Okay, so I would say the masses really wanted him to lose to Chad Gable.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
want him to drop too.
Everybody wanted him to drop to Chad Gable
That-
because he was the one with the biggest story and stuff like that, right? Will he drop it to Sami Zayn? Who knows? I mean, Sami Zayn kind of does deserve it. That man is a workhorse for this entire company.
Well, look, Chad Gable's a workhorse too, and I don't disagree with you on that. I don't know why it sounds like this. Chad Gable's a workhorse too, as well as Sami Zayn. I think the problem that people are having with Sami right now is that the WWE had an opportunity during the Sami Zayn run with the Bloodline to make him a champion, and now it kind of feels like they dropped the ball and they're trying to fit him in somewhere, and it kind of feels a little forced. Where Chad Gable felt like it was genuine, it felt like it was a build-up championship that he's worked for. Like, I'm not saying I don't want Sami in this match, and I'm not saying I don't want Sami to win. I would just have preferred that it was Chad Gable, and then at some point, if you wanted to do a Chad Gable versus Sami, I think that would have been a better title match, be it Gunther dropped to Chad had it for a while, and then it became a Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable.
True. I mean, do you think that he will become a heel at WrestleMania, Chad Gable meaning, and screw Sami Zayn out of the match?
So I'll say this. Chad has what it takes to be a heel. We haven't seen him as a dark heel.
Right.
We haven't seen him outside of the comedy element heel. And I think that, and I'm going to reference Kurt Angle once again. I think there's a level, we've seen the heel version of Chad Gable. I want to see Chad go a little bit darker, kind of when Bobby Lashley first formed, when he formed not the new group with him and Montez Ford but prior with Shelton
the Hurt Business?
Yes, I want to see him become more like that version of Bobby Lashley.
Man, I miss MVP.
Oh, is he out? Is he out?
He's not out, but him and Omos hasn't really done anything.
Well, Omos just got married. I did see that on Instagram.
Yeah, but he hasn't been on the show for ever.
Yeah, well, before he got married, he was just gone for a little while.
So,
all right, so clearing it up, right? So it's Io Sky versus Bayley, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, Gunther versus Sami Zayn, the Undisputed Tag Team match, which has like too many goddamn people. The United States Championship match, LA Knight versus AJ Styles, the Usos fighting each other, the tag team match with Ray and Dominic and Santos and Dragon Lee, the 6-woman with Cargill, Belair, Naomi versus Damage Control. Then officially on night 1, it's The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And night 2, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. So we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 matches in 2 nights.
Which is definitely going to be a really good super card. The one thing I'll say before we kind of like start to bring it in is I was not looking forward to the Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley match. I kind of didn't want that mashup. The promo that was shot last week where Rhea brought up Becky's daughter.
Oh yeah. Want cheap heat? Bring up Pete.
Was such a great promo that Rhea almost broke because Rhea heard Becky's voice when Becky, the mom side of Becky came out to be like, you're being real disrespectful, and in that moment you saw it in Rhea's face that she realized that her promo was so good that even she crossed the line. And now I feel like, once again, Becky Lynch is in a situation that it is personal. She has to show everybody why she's the man, and she has to dethrone.
I think, but for something like that, obviously, I think the acting is just great, right? Because she had to have known.
That applies that wrestling is fake. Wrestling is not
anyway.
Fake.
That implies the fact that Becky did not know what was going to be said. And when it comes to stuff like that, you have to clear it with them first. Okay. Right? This is not a CM Punk situation where he will say anything and everything back in the other company that he was in. Okay. Right? You have to clear it. And I know that sounds very like tedious, but when you're talking about certain things, just so you don't ruffle feathers or like go into business for yourself, you have to let the other person know, look, I'm going to get this heat. This is what I'm going to say. Are you okay with that? Cool. Let's go with it. Right? And then they perform with it.
I don't know. Like the way that Rhea sold that, she said, you're going to be sitting at home with your daughter calling me mommy.
That's a great freaking line.
Yes, because even I was sitting there like, ooh. So like, once again, I think that Becky has to bring it. She has to bring it.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course there were rumors that her contract, not rumors, she actually said.
Well, her and Seth contract
no, just hers.
Okay.
Her contract ends in 2 months.
Seth is coming up as well.
Yeah, but his is like beyond WrestleMania, so because the whole injury thing. So, but like the way I see it, you're right. WrestleMania 40 is a stacked card, as well it should be, because this is the 40th incarnation in the town that was like literally the epicenter of extreme wrestling with ECW. The fact that there isn't an ECW style match on the card kind of irritates me, which is what I think is going to happen with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits against the Final Testament. They might add that in as a no disqualification street fight type match.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Right? That'll probably be like the opener of the show, whatever the case may be. Like just, or even in the pre-show, whatever, because I don't even know if they still do pre-shows, right? And the fact that the start time is an hour earlier, that's gonna be tough.
Well, so then that means that NXT, Stand and Deliver?
Yes, Stand and Deliver on Saturday. It's gonna be like at 12 or 1 o'clock.
Yeah, so that's super
but it's also in a different arena, so it shouldn't matter.
No. Right? I wasn't worried that it was going to conflict with everything that's happening. It's just going to be fucking early.
Yep.
Like it's going to be watching. It's an all day thing, like from 12 p.m. to like 12 a.m. 12 hours of just wrestling.
Right. It is wrestling. It is I don't know, legally we cannot say this, so I'll say this. It is the big game equivalent of WrestleMania is the big game equivalent out there.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Where it's like you have a whole day of watching football, but in this case it's a whole day of watching wrestling.
Right.
Right? And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be watch Stand and Deliver. I cannot wait for that main event with Trick Williams and and Carmelo Hayes. Whoop that trick! What? Whoop that trick!
All right, we can see. Relax.
So,
all right,
Geektopians, it's that time. This is a shoot the shit. We talked about wrestling.
That's like the Friday before WrestleMania begins on Saturday. So you'll have
Paul Heyman, Bull.
Yes.
Boom. I forgot her nice name. I am so sad. I was about to say Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie.
Muhammad Ali, as I get the other Hall of Famers. The U.S. Express, right?
Yeah.
And oh my God, I feel so bad because I don't know. It's oh my God,
It's that old age. It's okay. It's fine.
it is that old
It's
age.
all right.
Thunderbolt Patterson. Okay. Sorry, and Bull Nakano.
Okay.
Okay. So
Wow.
do you have all the lists? Like,
Yeah, literally just 5. It's Paul Heyman, Bull Nakano, U.S. Express, which technically is 2, Muhammad Ali, and Thunderbolt Patterson.
Okay.
It's a low number this year. However, some people, not a lot, a small amount, were complaining about the fact that Bray Wyatt's not going to be in it.
So as you know, I'm a Bray Wyatt fan. Are
you gonna watch the documentary?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually look forward to it. His death it's a tragic loss. It was too young, too soon.
Yes.
And I think it's felt throughout both the WWE universe as well as with just wrestling fans in general.
Yes.
Sometimes I bought his wrestling, all of his wrestling intros, and it's every now and then when it's on shuffle and it comes up, I start to tear because it's just very sad that I think he was just a different wrestler, like as far as as a character, as a person, the way that he cut promos, the way that he dived into and gave you these very unique characters that I don't think you've really seen in the wrestling industry.
I feel like, and with that, I agree 110% with that, because we're cutting on time. I think he deserves first round ballot for another Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Because at least his dad is being
Inducted.
Yeah,
And his uncle,
yeah.
technically.
Yeah. With that being said, Geektopians, as you don't know it right now, but I'm afraid for my life.
Jesus.
I crossed the line. I didn't mean to boop. The moment was just there. I saw it. I know I crossed the line and I intruded on your space. Technically, I put hands on you with a boop.
So we about to close off. I'm gonna pull a handle.
Wait,
and we're gonna pull a ring out lucha style.
Before we go, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Charlie Radios Williams. I'm sorry, and if you don't see me in next episodes, call 911. Call somebody for me, cause May's awesome, scary, and I'm afraid for my life. This camera. I'm afraid. May, I didn't mean to boop you. Yeah, you got booped. Boop happens. It happens. Mysteriously boop. I'm sorry. But if you want to boop me back, you can. With one finger, not 5.
30 seconds.
I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you, Geektopians, for tuning in. We're your host. I'm Charlie Boop Williams.
I'm Mayliz, about to beat his ass.
And I'm Sean Luc, about to pull the trigger for a Mucho Lucha style ring.
And as always, we are out of here.
Bye.
Someone please call 911.
We the ones.
Someone.
All right, now cut it off so I can beat his ass. All right.
I will never do that again.